BOXBOY sure has made a name for himself in recent years. Since the release of the original game back on the Nintendo 3DS, our little sharp-cornered hero has become one of the more recognizable mascots for Nintendo in recent years. And that's not just because he's a cute little box boy, but because the games he has appeared in are some of the better puzzle platformers to have been released this generation, featuring an innovative core mechanic that allows for both simple gameplay that is friendly to newcomers and offers hardcore challenges for box stacking veterans. Now, BOXBOY is back for an all-new adventure with BOXBOY plus BOXGIRL for the Nintendo Switch. How does this latest quest stack up? Our story begins with QB, the boy, and QC, the girl, enjoying a pleasant day out with their friends and family. Of course, this calm isn't to last, and suddenly massive globs of darkness fall from the sky, pulling all of the color out of the land. This sets our heroes into motion as they head out to find the source of this chaos and restore the world to order. Now, with a title like BOXBOY plus BOXGIRL, this isn't just a solo adventure, and you can switch freely between QB and QC at any point in the single player mode, which is a really neat little addition for players going it alone. Of course, you don't have to go it alone, as BOXBOY plus BOXGIRL features a full co-op mode, which really moves the series forward and is a fantastic new addition to the franchise. Being able to play through stages with two characters really opens the gameplay up in ways that just weren't possible in any of the three previous BOXBOY games. QB and QC can work together in so many different ways that the solution to the game's puzzles become much more open-ended than previously possible, showing off the versatility of the original concept and how it can be expanded on and evolved. One early example that really blew me away happened when our heroes reached a large chasm that they couldn't possibly cross alone, but with each box person making half of a bridge and pulling themselves across, they were able to clear the gap, leading to a pretty great high-five moment for me and my co-op partner. And that's just a little example of what makes BOXBOY plus BOXGIRL such a fantastic local co-op game. Similar to another Switch eShop game in Snipperclips, you can technically play the multiplayer mode with one person switching between both characters, but that's far from an ideal experience and not really worth it if you're by your lonesome playing the game. For the uninitiated, the BOXBOY series is all about using boxes in various ways to solve 2D platforming puzzles. From simple things like making steps to get up inclines and building bridges to cross gaps, to more complex, gravity-defying mechanics, there's a surprising amount of versatility to a seemingly simple cornered shape. This core gameplay idea was first introduced in the original BOXBOY from 2015 and expanded on in the game's two sequels, BOXBOY and Bye Bye BOXBOY, released over the next couple years. And that sheer amount of box stacking does lead to BOXBOY plus BOXGIRL feeling a little light on brand new ideas, outside of the co-op mode of course. Sure, the game does feature the most amount of levels in the series' history, but a lot of them reuse ideas and concepts that we've seen before. Thankfully, for true BOXBOY enthusiasts, the game does feature a brand new post-game mode starring a third playable character named Cutie. These stages completely change up how you approach a particular challenge, as Cutie is a tall, rectangle-shaped fellow, meaning that the boxes he creates are equally as long. This makes for really unique challenges and puzzles that will push your box stacking skills to the absolute limit, and serves as a great incentive for players who feel like they have seen everything the series could possibly offer, especially 4 games in, and keeps the experience feeling fresh and adds value to the game overall. Speaking of great content, one of my favorite elements in BOXBOY plus BOXGIRL are the unlockable costumes that you can purchase with earned medals to give QB and QC a look that is all their own. Visually speaking, BOXBOY plus BOXGIRL is a pretty minimalistic looking game, with sharp, clear lines and definition across all of its elements. This is the exact same style that the series has used throughout its history, and is definitely an established facet of the series today. While there's no doubt the game looks great in high definition, it would have been nice to have a bit more graphical flair added now that it's moved on from the Nintendo 3DS. Still though, the visuals work pretty nicely. It's just getting really hard to tell the 4 BOXBOY games apart from one another. One thing that doesn't need to change though is the game's cute aesthetic. For some of the simplest characters across all of gaming, QB, QC, and their friends manage to be an extremely expressive bunch, and seeing their little animations is always charming. The soundtrack is also pretty fun and sets the mood nicely throughout the whole adventure, though it can be a bit too subdued at times. From a pure value point of view, the amount of content you get, 270 stages in total, the sheer amount of collectibles and the full co-op experience easily make BOXBOY plus BOXGIRL worth its $12.59 Canadian price point. I really can't overstate this. You would be hard pressed to find a better co-op game on the Switch for a comparable price point. The only other game I can think of that comes close is the aforementioned Snipperclips, But that game, while also great, definitely has less content than what you will see on display here in BOXBOY plus BOXGIRL. So, if you're looking for a great puzzle platformer that you can play with friends, this is the game for you. I really enjoy playing through another adventure with these guys. BOXBOY plus BOXGIRL is both a charming game that you can play when you want to unwind, or a challenging puzzle platformer that can put your problem-solving skills to the test. However, the series' sharp edges are starting to get a little dulled down, as we're now 4 games in to what is essentially an unchanged core mechanic that, while still fun, is starting to show wear and tear. Still though, you really can't go wrong adding BOXBOY plus BOXGIRL to your Switch collection, especially if you're in search for a fun game that you can play with a partner.